Okay, this is AutoCAD. This is baseline dimensioning. With the baseline dimension, it allows us to reduce the amount of tolerance buildup we have in the part. So, here's the drawing I just completed as a chain dimension. If I modify my mechanical dimension and I come over here to tolerance, and let's say I want it to be a symmetrical tolerance of 0.1. Yeah, that's what I want. So with a precision of 1 decimal. So now when I say OK and close, it's a little messy, but you can see, that I have a tolerance added to my dimension. So it's 4 inches with plus or minus 0.1. That means it could be like 3.99 or 4.0 or 4.1. So if that's the tolerance for my whole drawing, that means when I go to look at this dimension, it's 0.5 was 0.5 inches, half inch, or it could be 0.49, or it could be 0.6. This one could be 3.1 or 2.99. So that's a problem because that means this dimension here could be 0.2 out of tolerance, right? So this is a range of 0.2. This one could be 0.4 because if this dimension is 0.6 and this dimension is 3.1, right? That adds up to 3.7, which is outside of our tolerance, right? So the way I combat that is I will do a chain dimension, and I'm just going to turn off my tolerance information for now. And rather than, oops, too high. So rather than dimensioning from one dimension to the other, I'm going to make these dimensions go from this one line over here. This is baseline dimensioning. So if I wanted to do that from the beginning, the same double dimensioning rules apply. You don't want to double dimension, but I will come up here to annotate, and I'll say dimension, and I'll just dimension from here to here. I'll get my 0.5. I'll then dimension from here to here. Get my 2. Delete that because that's double dimensioned. I'll then dimension from always from that 1 point. I think I missed that. Did I miss it? Make sure that this is on. You see, I missed that endpoint. And then I'll dimension my last one from one end to the other. So now, if I turn my tolerance back on, this one can only be plus or minus 0.1. This one can only be plus or minus 0.1, and so on. So this could be 2.1 or 3.99. This could be 0.6 or 0.4, but it can't be, I don't continuously get that buildup as I go across the drawing. So here's the thing. If you're going to dimension in a chain, they all need to be dimensioned in a chain. If you're going to dimension in a baseline, it all needs to be dimensioned in a baseline. You should not mix and match your dimension styles. You still want to avoid the double dimensioning. Things like this would all need to be dimensioned from the baseline. So, oh look, I mixed and matched from the begin with, didn't I? So, I would then dimension horizontal from here to here. Now here's something I didn't address in the other video because it didn't come up. I can't have this. I can't have dimension lines crossing dimension lines. So what am I going to do with that? Well, you can bring that out. I would accept that as okay if I had to bring it out to the right side. Like I said, all your dimensions should be on the inside, but I would accept that because I'm going to need to come over here and do a baseline dimension. And you notice I'm still using the same tools from, actually I'm going to do it all over here. And you should probably pick a really solid stationary point. Go from here to here, and from there to there. And now that's all baseline dimensioned. And there is not a lot that I need up on top here. This 2.5 is this 2.5. This 1.5, well, there's nothing to dimension here anyway. I should have a center line through here. And that looks pretty good. So that's baseline dimensioning using AutoCAD.